Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. So, hasn't been a big week for news, but there's some things to talk about. So in Virpil Controls news, it looks like on Friday they updated their stock on their web store, and I can almost guarantee you if I click that and go over there, they're probably out of everything again. But the best news was on the same day they posted a picture of what looks like a pretty kick-ass looking collective. So Virpil is working on a collective. So that ought to be pretty cool for helicopter enthusiasts, and I think that would be pretty kick-ass. So I'll post a link to this to their Facebook page and you can check it out for yourself. The guys at Razbam have just been busy as all hell. So on June 7th they posted a short video of a flight around MP. Keep in mind absolutely everything's a work in progress. Pretty neat stuff. The video itself is about 11 minutes long. Here's another one, a short video of a flight around Stanley. Keep in mind absolutely everything is a work in progress. Looks like they're in the Huey there. And then until we got the proper vehicles, here's a reenactment. And this, I believe, is on their new map. And in addition to that, South Atlantic map work in progress pics. So it looks like we got a bunch of penguins hanging out. Looks pretty neat. Looks a little washed out, but this is work in progress, so there is that. I'll post a link to this so you can check it out for yourself. This is over on their Facebook page. So there's a new mod out for DCS World that just came out the other day. It's the EDGE-540. Now I've got sound turned off on this because I'll get a strike because they're using copyrighted music, but this looks pretty cool. And it is a free download for DCS World. I'm going to install it and give it a shot and toss together a video on it. I kind of like the Kristen Eagle, or Kristen Eagle 2 rather, that I have for DCS World. So this looks like it might be some fun. I haven't read much about it. I just saw this video and one of the viewers said, hey, check this out for your news. So I figured, yeah, I'm going to include that because it looks pretty kick-ass. So it is the Community EDGE-540. I'll include a link in the video description as usual so you can check it out for yourself. So here's something interesting I happened upon. There's a video from Casmo TV, and he goes on to say, I sit down with a former colleague and current co-development consultant and discuss the upcoming Polychop Simulations OH-58D Kiowa Warrior module for DCS, as well as the aircraft's history, impact on military aviation, and how our lives were changed by flying the mighty KW. It's about an hour and 20-minute video. I will throw a link to this in the video description as usual so you could check it out for yourself, but there's a lot of great information in it, lots of great pictures of the real world Kiowa, and definitely worth watching. In Microprose news, a couple days ago an interview turned up over at Venturebeat.com, and it's a pretty in-depth interview with Microprose on various topics. And it goes on to talk about how David Ligeti, who's the new boss of Microprose, went about acquiring the company, and how he's a gamer, and the involvement of Wild Bill, yada yada yada. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual so you could check it out for yourself. So the new episode of the Air Combat Sim podcast, episode 10, is live, and it is also a Microprose interview. And Sergio Costa, who is a well-known helicopter aficionado, also happens to be a product development manager at Microprose now. He goes on to talk about the new Microprose and a lot of the products they're doing, and a couple of the comments really stood out to me, and this one was one of them. And it does kind of describe what flight sims are like right now.
I'm a simmer. Okay, my background, most of my background has to do with flight sim. So I'm a simmer. So I know I use several sims. So I know what goes behind the passion of simming, of flight simming. But the fact is that, and this is something that I have personally felt for a long time, as much as flight simulators have evolved technically, this is just my personal opinion, but it kind of feels soulless to me. It's just yeah, you can do missions in DCS and whatnot, but the thing is, I feel like I'm just thrown into the scene and push all those buttons and pull all those.
Ain't that the truth? I'm glad somebody has come out and said that, and that pretty much is. I've been kind of saying this all along, I just haven't used the word soulless for it. But, DCS in general is fantastic. It's a beautiful environment, absolutely outstanding planes, and the whole depth of, startup and takeoff and landing and shutter down, it's all great. But at the end of the day, DCS is soulless because you're thrown in there, here's a plane, go find something to do with it. There's no story behind it. Like the old Jane Sims or the old Microprose Sims, like he was talking about. You were a young budding pilot and you're starting out, and there's a little bit of story between each mission, and you move your way up the ranks and you get a better plane. That's what's missing from simulations today. That's what made this stuff fun. That's what piqued our interest in this stuff back in the 90s. It wasn't just a hardcore simulation, here, go find something to do. It was just fun. What was that one game? Strike Commander from Origin. Like it was like an F-16 sim, and it was a little bit of story. It was kind of like Wing Commander, only they called it Strike Commander. That's the kind of stuff that we're missing in this day and age. And it's too bad because we have this amazing technology to pull off just photorealistic terrain, photorealistic cockpits, and can go through the startup procedure and deploy the weapons and avionics systems like you would in the real world. But outside of that, there's nothing going on in between landing the plane and taking off again. You know what I mean? What's the reason for landing? And taking off again? You know what I mean? What's the purpose of the mission? It's just, let's just write it with the mission editor and go fly it. But there is no purpose. And that's the kind of thing that I really wish developers would jump into, is let's get things back to storytelling. Let's get things back to giving us a reason to jump into the cockpit. I mean, yes, we all know the reason is to bomb something or shoot somebody out of the air, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to at least spice it up a little bit, right? And this is a really good interview. I listened to about 2/3 of it. I didn't get to the end of it. But some of the things that were mentioned in here as well was the fact that the Mighty Eighth is not going to be a flight sim. It is a VR game, and it's going to basically put you in the experience of being part of a crew in the B-17, which I think is still going to be good fun, but it isn't going to be a flight sim. And that's something that I came away from this that I didn't really realize before. I thought it was going to be a flight sim that also let you play different pieces of the crew, but it's not a flight sim. It's going to be a VR game, but I think it's going to be a fantastic VR game. To me, it sounds like Bridge Commander, only in a B-17, But I'm going to throw this as a link in the video description as usual, and definitely check it out for yourself because it really is a fantastic interview, and Sergio is really a great guy. I think Microprose made out with this guy. I really do. Alright guys, this is the third week of the WarGameGuru, Heatblur, and Meteor giveaway. So, I'm going to be giving away yet another F-14 Tomcat module and another copy of Meteor's System Failure album. There's 7 days left. The last one had 690 total entries. The one before that was 685. So we beat the first one by 5 entries. Let's see if we can get 1,000 people to get in on this one. You know, this is giveaway number 3. After this, I've got 2 more to go. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys.